You know, the challenge is you got to rebuild with a lot of new players who will be younger, have new roles, less experience, and how do they respond, you know, to these new roles? And I've been pleased so far with the way our players have embraced the new roles, the new responsibilities. We're going to be a work in progress, and that's going to be critical to our success.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Nick Saban Show, brought to you by Truckworks. I'm Chris Stewart, along with the head coach of the Crimson Tide. Coach, it's been quite a while since we've done one of these without talking about a victory, but unfortunately a tough 41-38 loss in College Station.
Yeah, and you know, I think, you know, everybody should remember what it feels like to lose. When I say you got to respect winning, that's what you're trying to avoid. And it's the preparation, everything that you do to get ready to play a game, because when you get to the game, everybody wants to win. So, and you know, you got to give Texas A&M a lot of credit. They played well in the game, and you know, we didn't make the plays we needed to make in the game. You know, we got behind the 8 ball in the first half, and then we go ahead in the game at the end of the game, 38-31, and don't stop them. We have an opportunity to, with 3 minutes to go in the game, to have a chance to win the game with a field goal, go 3 and out. They get the ball, we don't stop them, they kick a field goal, win the game. So we didn't make the plays when we had the opportunities to make plays. Too many stops in the red zone, not enough stops on defense. We outgained them, but we also contributed to not finishing, which, you know, was the difference in the game.
Let's talk a little bit about the early part of the ball game, Coach, where they did take the lead, that you had it briefly and then they took it right back again.
Yeah, well, but I think you got to give our players a lot of character, a lot of credit for the character they showed in the second half of the game. You know, getting behind like we did, coming back, and actually, other than the kickoff return, they didn't score for, you know, a quarter and whatever until the end. So the defense did a much better job in the second half. We moved the ball consistently, but again, we had to kick a couple field goals, drop the ball in the end zone. Dropped the ball in the last drive, all right, where we would have had a first down and would have been able to move the chain. So we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We had to overcome a lot when you do things like that, and you know, sometimes you can't make it up, and we weren't able to do that.
Let's get into the first half highlights.
A 39-yard kick and a 39-yard field goal for Texas A&M. Bryce brings Williams in motion. He'll go to the right side. Protection. Bryce looks, throws left side. Nice lead. Williams out of the backfield. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama. A 20-yard play. A beautiful lead pass by Bryce Young to his running back, Roydell Williams, coming out of the backfield. Preston and Weidermeyer stacked on the right side of the formation. Here's the snap, backpedaling, Calzada. He looks, he throws across through traffic, wide open, touchdown, Weidermeyer. Bama lost sight of the big tight end, and it's a 27-yard touchdown pass. Zach Calzada to Jalen Weidermeyer. Spiller lined up behind his quarterback in the pistol. Play action fake, throw wide open across the middle. Touchdown, Ainias Smith. Weidermeyer, the tight end. A-Chain, the running back. Quarterback rolls right and throws. Intercepted, Alabama. Intercepted by the Crimson Tide. DeMarco Hellams with his second interception of the year. Goodness gracious, did Bama need that? It'll be a 37-yard try for Will Riker. Kick is on the way. It is up, and it is good. So a 37-yard field goal. On the 1st and 10, man in motion, Smith, handoff, Spiller, nice block, up the middle. He'll run to the 1-yard line. And he gets in, now they say, as he rolls over the defender and records a 15-yard touchdown run.
Coach, 24-10 at the half, couple of turnovers really hurt.
Well, turnovers, I think we got sacked 3 times in the first half. Really didn't play very well at all on defense. Gave up a lot of easy plays where we just didn't do the right things. So, but, it's a test. You get behind in a place like this. This was an unbelievable environment that they had, that we had to play in tonight. I told our players, the field's going to be 53 yards wide and 100 yards deep. And every time you think the noise is a problem, that's a cue to you to focus on what you got to do in front of you. Because that don't mean anything to how you block the guy or how you tackle the guy or how you cover the guy. So I think we were prepared for that. I think we handled it better in this game. But we just didn't make plays when we need to make them at times. So, but I told the players at halftime, this is a test. We're behind 24-10. We haven't been behind before. All right, so what are you going to do about it? You check your whole card. All right, how are you going to compete? Competitive greatness is defined by you can be your best when your best is needed. So that's what we needed to do. And we played a lot better in the second half, but not quite good enough.
We've got more coming up. Stay with us right here on the Nick Saban Show.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. And by Coca-Cola. Together tastes better.
Coach, at the end of our last segment, you shared with us what the message was at halftime. How do you feel they carried that out early in the second half?
Oh, I thought we played, really well to get back in the game. We competed. We got a lot of stops on defense. We had great drives on offense. To get ahead 38-31 with their only score in the second half being a kickoff return, which we did a very poor job of covering. I was really pleased with the way our players competed in the second half, and you got to give them a lot of credit for that. We just didn't finish. We had opportunities at the end of the game, and we didn't finish.
Let's get into those second half highlights.
JoJo Earl, the freshman from Alito, Texas, as it's blocked by Alabama. It rolls into the end zone, covered by the Crimson Tide for a touchdown. Covered by Alabama. It was King Makuta who falls on top of the football, and Alabama gets the huge play they were looking for. Devin Echane comes out with the football on the kickoff, and he's coming right up the middle, and he's got nobody back for Alabama. Oh my goodness, Devin Echane all the way, 96 yards, touchdown, Texas A&M. Dalcourt looks back at him over his left shoulder, resets, here's the snap. Bryce looks far side behind the defense. Caught. Touchdown. Jamison Williams. Bryce saw something there, Rashad, and he audibled into that play for a 29-yard touchdown. The snap from Nealon Hibbins. The spot and the kick are good, and it's a one-point ball game. Here now is a 1st and goal from the 7, throw near side. Williamson makes the catch. He is in for a touchdown. Jamison Williams was alone near side. Touchdown, Alabama. Weidermeyer is blocking this time. Here's the quick throw. It's towards the corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Anias Smith. 28-yarder to win it for Texas A&M. The crowd will tell you what happened.
Coach, it kind of felt from the stands as though you had that one down the stretch. Unfortunately, A&M would have something to say about it.
Well, I think that when we were 38-31, we got the 2-point conversion, and we now you need to stop them, which we didn't, and they tied the game up 38-38. And then with 3 minutes to go, we have an opportunity to go down the field and kick a field goal and win the game. Probably take the clock and the game. All right, we drop a ball, and we're 3 and out, and they get the ball with 2:21 to go, and went down the field, and we didn't stop them on defense. We had some opportunities, we didn't stop them. We didn't execute like we needed to stop them, and they kick a field goal and win the game. So, you can talk about everything that happened in the game, but from the time we got ahead 38-31, how we finished the game, that was the difference in the game. They did it, and we didn't.
We got more coming up. Stay with us here on the Nick Saban Show, brought to you by Truckworks.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by Tiffin Motorhomes, made to move you. And by Coca-Cola, together tastes better.
Coach, it looked like there were going to be a lot of turning points in this game, but there certainly was one late.
Well, there was a lot of momentum swings in the game. There's no doubt about that. But I think the difference in the game is what happened from 38-31 to 38-38 to us having the ball and not converting and moving down the field, and them getting the ball and us not stopping them. I mean, that's the game. I mean, there's a lot of close games. I mean, I coach in the NFL. Every game comes down to one touchdown. So you got to be able to finish the game. And the turning point to me is they finished and we didn't.
Coach, you've got so many members of your staff that I know they all have vital roles, but you've got a guy who's relatively new, been around for a couple of years now. You're Director of Sports Science. Tell us about Matt Ray.
Well, Matt Ray, I call him Doc, is a fabulous person. He's very smart. The whole sports science thing is, an area that I felt that we needed to make progress in, and he has certainly helped us in so many ways. And testing players, being able to test explosive movement, know if players are getting run down. I mean, it's the science part of this is really, really important, I think, and he does it as well as anybody in the country. So, we're just delighted to have him on our staff, and it's been a great addition for us.
Let's go Mercedes-Benz All Access with Matt Ray.
Well, it was an interesting timing of being contacted by Coach Saban and Jeff Allen about the opportunity to come here. It's hard to turn down an opportunity to work with one of the premier football programs in all of college football. So we were happy with where we were, but as most people do in their careers, you're always kind of pushing yourself and want some challenges and new challenges. This place comes with different challenges than we were used to, but we looked at the opportunity as one that would actually help us to expand our skill set and really push us to the top level. I do think there are differences to the athletes in the SEC. The speed, you hear a lot about SEC speed, and it's a real thing. But the game is different in a lot of different parts of the country, and so it's just like playing different opponents. You adjust what you need to adjust to be successful against any opponent that you're facing. And one thing I like about our guys is we're very well-rounded. We have to look pretty hard to find weaknesses in our guys, and that means they're capable of doing so many different things. Well, probably like most industries, technology has really developed in strength and conditioning, and there's a lot of things that we now have access to that even at the beginning of my career we didn't have. And our role is to evolve and to innovate. So you take those technologies and you use those to try to gain a competitive advantage. And a lot of places may have the same technologies, but the competitive advantage comes from being able to utilize those things better than anybody else. It's really interesting to see athletes that are so incredibly gifted. They're genetically very different than the general athletic population. but to still see them improving is really impressive. I think there's a notion out in the world that these guys are 5-star recruits. They're freaks in terms of athletic ability, and therefore they may not improve very much, or they may not need to train hard to improve. And what I see happening here is a very good combination of good programming, but also a mentality in our athletes that it doesn't matter how hard I have to work, it's going to pay off. Well, working with Coach Saban's a good challenge. It's exciting. You're held to a very high standard. I love that. I love that kind of environment. So I appreciate how he has created a culture like that, where not only is that the expectation, but the people around you enjoy that challenge and bring their A game every day as well.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Coach, when I think of Kendall Randolph, I think of Levi Randolph's little brother, but the former basketball player has a younger brother who's made a name in his own right in Tuscaloosa.
Well, he's done an outstanding job. He's overcome a lot of adversity here as a player. He stuck with it for 5 years. He's made a tremendous contribution to our team in a lot of ways, and I'm really proud of this guy for sticking it out and doing a lot of things that he needed to do to be successful academically, personally, and athletically on the field.
Let's spend some time with Kendall Randolph.
My name is Kendall Randolph. I'm from Madison, Alabama, and I play offensive line. Growing up in Madison, Alabama, I've always been an Alabama fan. My older brother played basketball here, so watching him grow and become the athlete that he was, it always set the standard in what I wanted to become. It was awesome. Growing up watching him play here, he always played with good energy. He always was playing for the team, and those are some of the things that he instilled in me to bring to the football team here. For my family to watch me play it's an awesome feeling. I have a younger brother that's 10 years old, and he has the same type of dreams and aspirations that me and my older brother have, to play sports at the highest level possible. So to be a role model for my younger brother and to give others hope and show them that anything's possible, it's a great feeling. Playing under Coach Saban, he's taught me a lot about being able to adapt to different situations. So playing here, I've played multiple positions, and to be able to learn and grow as an athlete and also as a man, it's just overall been a great experience. And, I'm very thankful for everything Coach has done for me. First of all, my favorite moment is definitely the national championship from last year. Since we going through COVID, there was a lot of obstacles and adversities, and for us to overcome that, it was a good feeling to hold the trophy above our heads at the end of the season.
If you want something, go get it. It's simple. If you want it, go get it.
The fans mean everything to me. I appreciate the support, even if you're watching from home, but we definitely appreciate you all coming out to support us at our games at Bryant-Denny Stadium, and we're looking forward to seeing you this season. Go Tide.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by Aflac. Get to know us at aflac.com.
Coach, what's next is another road trip. You head to Starkville to take on Mississippi State.
Well, Mississippi State's got a really good team. They're playing really well. They beat these guys here, it's tough to play over there. You got to deal with the cowbells and the noise, and they throw the ball a lot, and we're obviously going to have to play a lot better on defense than we did, and their defense is pretty good too. So we got a lot of challenges ahead of us, and I think the first thing we need to do is fix what we do, and then put our players in better positions as coaches so that they have a better chance to be successful.
Coach, thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week here on the Nick Saban Show, brought to you by Truckworks.
The Nick Saban Show is brought to you by Coca-Cola, together tastes better. By the University of Alabama, where legends are made. And by Trustmark, people you trust, advice that works.